Everyone has a higher calling, and mine is to make music. I got a copy of FL Studio when I was 14, and I've been producing music ever since. All this time, my dream was to be a music producer, and it never really seemed like a possibility until I got my internship at Ausla and moved to Los Angeles after I was hired. When I came to Los Angeles, I met a lot of people that did what I wanted to do. After some time, Amtrac moved out to LA, and Totally Enormous Instinct Dinosaurs started throwing a party with Lauren. It was called Fashion Island Explorers Club. So I would go with Amtrac to this party every Monday, and that's kind of how I met Esteemed and Amtrac. So after a year or so of that, I started working for Orlando, Esteemed, for his record label called Nice Age, and I was doing A&R and a little bit of creative direction. That was around the same time that I started working on my first EPs for Anjunadeep. And so with their guidance over the years and a lot of hard work, I think I was able to make a nice job out of making music full-time. I'm from Florence. When I was 4, we moved to Fort Myers, Florida. Every couple of years, we would go back to see our family in Italy. And I had 2 cousins that were going to a lot of nightclubs. I remember when I was 14, my cousins took me to a nightclub in Florence, and I will never forget that night for as long as I live. I could not stop dancing the entire night, and that music is like nothing I'd ever heard before. They gave me music like Aphex Twin and Cocoon compilations from Sven Väth. That is a big inspiration for the music I still make to this day. Living in Los Angeles comes with its opportunities, and when times were tough, I was always able to find some sort of job to keep me afloat in music. I would try and get mixing jobs, or I would get paid for remixes here and there. Every so often I'd get a show, and it would kind of keep me afloat for a little bit. There's been a few leap of faiths in my life, and every time it's been with the intention of making music full-time. Amtrac suggested that I buy an analog synth. The one that he recommended was pretty much my life savings. And so I bought it, and I made Split Wick and Maya as well, which are 2 of my biggest songs. I remember Diplo was listening to Split Wick because I heard it in a story of his, and then shortly after, he messaged me with a project file and asked me if I wanted to work on it. So I did, and then I didn't hear anything for about a year or 2. He sent me a SoundCloud link. He asked if I wanted to work on it, and I said, yeah, send me the stems. He sent me the stems for the vocals, and then he told me that I already had the stems for the track. And I had completely forgotten the track that I had worked on with him prior. He didn't change any of the production that I did. That song came out, and I had a lot of steam behind me, and it gave me time to just not release anything and work on the album fully. I think I came up with the skeleton for the album in about 2 months. And that's when I sent it to Anjunadeep. As they were listening, I was updating the tracks every week. The way I did it was every week I would pick a new song to work on. I would just work on it and make it better and upload it to the folder. And this went on for about 2 years. About halfway through this process, I came up with the idea for Enter. And I really wanted the album to be this entrance into a higher dimension and entering into this elevated state of consciousness. For the album artwork, it was a time when AI was kind of going crazy, so I knew I really wanted something that was tangible, physical, and not done with AI. My fiance is a weaver. I wanted her to weave a portal, and then I wanted to photograph it in nature. There was some guy that is pretty much doing this. I just fell in love right away. He already took all of these photos on large format film. It meshes with the album, which uses a lot of analog gear. It just made sense to license the artwork from Ian. Enter is a sort of gradient for where my sound was before the album and kind of the direction that my sound is going into the future and kind of the music I'm working on now.
I'm still not where I want to be, but that's okay because I'm working towards it every day. And I think in the end, that's really all that matters.